For this project, we're going to start by talking about warm and cool colors. These are our warm colors, red, orange, and yellow. We call them warm colors because they remind us of things that are warm or hot, right? They kind of look like fire or the sun, things like that. Next we have our cool colors. Our cool colors are blue, green, and purple. And we call them cool colors because they remind us of things that are cold. Maybe the ocean or ice or plants. So these are our warm colors and these are our cool colors. And we're going to decide which ones we want to use for the project. You can decide. So I think I'm going to do cool colors. So I set the warm colors aside. Now I'm going to start by putting my name and class code on my paper. Then I'm going to flip it over so that's on the back. Then you're going to grab your pencil. I'm going to draw with a Sharpie to start so you guys can see it on the video, but you guys are going to do this step with a pencil. So you're going to start by drawing a large circle on your paper. I like to say to draw it about the size of your fist. That doesn't mean I'm going to trace my fist, that just means I'm going to look and try to draw it about the same size as my fist. Now, since we're going to be drawing a flower, you're going to draw 2 straight lines coming down your paper for your stem. Then you're going to start drawing your petals. If you have a hard time drawing petals, I like to say just draw 2 curved lines that go to a point. I'm going to finish drawing petals that go around my paper. I want them to be pretty big. I don't want to draw a whole bunch of tiny petals. You can see I'm drawing about 7 pretty big petals. Now I'm going to draw some leaves on my stem. Again, if you have a hard time with this, 1 curved line, 2 curved lines that go to a point. Then I like to draw the little lines in the middle of my stem, or of my leaves, to make them look a little bit more like leaves. Next, I'm going to draw the little seeds in the middle of my sunflower. Not too many. There we go. This is when you're going to take that time to go over your pencil lines with your Sharpie and erase any of those pencil lines that you still see. Then you're going to get your Sharpie and you're going to start tracing around your sunflower. So you can see I left about an inch between my sunflower and the new line I'm making, and I'm just going to go all the way around my sunflower. I went off the paper there, but that's okay. I'm just going to start back up where it would come back and keep going all the way around. I'm trying really hard to stay evenly around my sunflower. I don't want really thin lines somewhere and then thick lines another place. So I'm trying really hard to make sure that I'm staying the same distance away from the last line I made. And now I'm going back and I'm doing another line around that line I just made. And you're going to keep doing this until your paper gets filled up all the way with lines. I'm going back and adding a 3rd line. I can't go in that little space anymore, so I'm just going to keep going. Just like that. I can't go in that little tiny space anymore, so I'm just going to make a little square right here. Now you can see that all my lines are evenly spaced out. That's pretty important so it looks really nice and neat. Now I'm going to start coloring in my sunflower. So first you're going to start by coloring in the center of your sunflower brown, of course. Next, I'm going to start coloring my sunflower petals, which of course are going to be yellow. Please make sure to do your nicest and neatest coloring and fill in all the spaces and leave no white. Next, I'm going in with my green for the stem of my flower and for the leaves. Again, you can see I'm really trying hard to make my coloring look really nice and neat. Now this is when I'm going to start using my cool colors. So for me, I have green, blue, and purple, but the stem of my flower is green, so I can't color my first space green because then you won't really see it. So I'm going to start with either blue or purple. If you pick the warm colors, you don't want to start with yellow because your petals of your flower are yellow. So you would want to start with red or orange. So since I'm doing the cool colors, I think I'm going to start with purple. And in that first space between your flower and that first line you drew, you are going to fill that in with your first color marker. So for me, that's purple. So I'm going to make sure that I fill in that entire space between my flower and that first line, so I'm not leaving any white spaces. Now I'm going to start in with my next cool color. For me, I'm going to do blue. And in that next space between where I just did my purple and my next line that I drew, I'm going to color that all the way in with blue, all the way around. Again, making sure not to leave any white spaces. Now I'm going to go in with my last cool color, which is green, and I'm going to fill in that next space between my blue and the next line. Now I only have one space left, so I'm going to start back with the same color I started, which was purple. You might have more than one space left. Maybe you added a few more lines than me, which would mean that after my purple you would do blue and green, just the same order that you already did if you also have some more lines to fill in. But you're going to fill them all in so you have no white spaces left on your paper. And there's my finished cool color flower. If you did warm colors, then you'll have a warm color flower.